goodness, so from the sound of it, I mean, you were literally yards from where this incident unfolded.
Well, we were on the opposite carriageway, but maybe 4 or 5 metres.
Yes, and just so that I've got all the facts here correct, Karen, you have your 1-year-old baby with you in a pram.
That's right, yeah.
Right, and then you're looking out of the window. Tell us, just rewind, because the detail that you were describing to us is absolutely extraordinary. So what was the first thing that you saw, or did you hear something first?
No, the first thing I saw was people sort of starting to run into the road. And at first you think they're just normal, annoying London pedestrians, but they looked scared, and they were running and looking over their shoulder and filming. And then it looked like there was maybe a tussle or a fight. So a few men together, all with dark jackets. And in the end, I sort of realised that they were police officers with, dark jackets, and the 3 armed police officers. They all had guns. And then one guy in a big black jacket, a tall guy with a beard. And then when I didn't quite see, there must have been a car going past. The next thing I saw, he was lying on the floor, and there were 2 loud pops.
Right. And, I mean, here you are with your baby. Was your first thought to try to get off the bus, or...?
Not really. I was scared because there may have been more terrorists. You don't know how many of them there are on the bridge. So it actually felt a bit safer inside the vehicle, which could potentially drive away with us in it. So what I did was after I heard the 2 pops, I then just tried to get her, because I saw this jacket, this vest on the guy, and I thought, if he explodes, will the baby be okay? So I just tried to get her behind the stairwell, so at least she was protected.
Yes.
And then we waited because the traffic was clearing ahead. And then as soon as there was a space, we just urged the bus driver to drive on, which he did, and dropped us off at the south end of the bridge.
We ought to just reiterate what we're hearing from the Metropolitan Police, that they're saying that the circumstances regarding this incident are at the moment unclear, but as a precaution they're responding to it as though it is terror related. We do not know, I should say, whether the people involved in this incident at the moment are terrorists. So you then all are on this bus, you shout at the driver what to drive on, and then what happened?
Then the driver did. It looked like the traffic on the bridge cleared, and he drove to the end and just stopped at the side of the road and let us all off at the south end of the bridge. And we just tried to get away from there as quickly as possible, because you don't know how many, with the last London Bridge attack, there was a few different attackers. So we just thought, let's get away from here as quickly as possible. One of the ladies on the bus with me, she said she'd seen people running out of a building with blood or stab wounds on them. So we knew something had happened on the north side, so south seemed safer.
So sorry, just say that again. What did that lady say to you? What did she say?
So one of our fellow passengers said she'd seen people coming out of a building on the north end of the bridge,
right,
with blood on them and what looked like stab wounds. So we knew something had happened at the north side, so we felt safer going towards the south, getting off that side.
Okay, so you're then, you were running, I assume. There are a group of you. Where did you go to, and were you being directed by the police? What sort of information were you being given?
Oh, well, there was no police there yet. There was
Right.
only 3 officers, and they were all directly engaging with the presumably a terrorist, and there was no one else there yet. When I was on Borough High Street, I heard the first ambulance coming up Borough High Street.
Right, and what's the situation now, Karen?
So as quickly as I possibly could, I got into I only live 5 minutes away, into sort of residential, quieter streets. And before I was 3 or 4 minutes away, there was a helicopter overhead, and you could hear sirens starting to gather.
Okay, how are you feeling?
A little shaken, but so relieved to be inside the house. The baby slept through the whole thing and had no idea that I was so frightened.
Excuse me, what happened? Excuse me, what happened? What happened? I don't know. Excuse me,
Akhil Basu. I'm the Assistant Commissioner for Specialist Operations in the Met. I can confirm that at approximately 2 p.m. today, Friday the 29th of November, police were called to a stabbing at a premises near to London Bridge EC1. Emergency services attended, including officers from the City of London Police and the Metropolitan Police. A male suspect was shot by specialist armed officers from the City of London Police, and I can confirm that this suspect died at the scene. A number of other people received injuries during this incident. As soon as we can provide further updates on their condition, we will. And our heartfelt sympathies go out to everybody who's been involved in this and is anxiously waiting for information on their loved ones. As soon as we can get that information, we will get it to you. As you would expect, due to the nature of the incident, we responded as though this was terrorist related. I'm now in a position to confirm that it has been declared a terrorist incident. We are working jointly with the City of London Police as we continue to respond. Officers from the Met's Counter-Terrorism Command are now leading this investigation, but I must stress we retain an open mind as to any motive. It would be inappropriate to speculate further at this time. Due to reports that the suspect may have had an explosive device, specialist officers also attended the scene and wide cordons are in place to ensure there remains no further danger to the public. However, I can confirm at this time we believe a device that was strapped to the body of the suspect is a hoax explosive device. Officers continue to carry out meticulous searches in the area to ensure there is no outstanding threat to the public. Those extensive cordons will remain in place for a considerable time, and I would ask the public, please continue to avoid the area. Public safety is obviously our top priority. We will be enhancing police patrols both in the city and across London. I would ask anyone with information, image or footage of the incident that can be shared with our investigation team to do so on the UK Police Image Appeal website. I would also ask the public to continue to remain vigilant and report any concerns that they have to the police. I know I would ordinarily take questions. I'm not going to take questions at this time. The Prime Minister has asked for a personal briefing and I'll be heading with the Commissioner of the Met to Downing Street immediately. Thank you for your patience. We will update you again when we can.
So that was Neil Basu, the head of the UK Counter-Terrorism and Assistant Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, confirming that a man was shot and the suspect died at the scene on London Bridge. He said that the incident has now been declared a terror incident, and also that the suspect had what appeared to be some sort of vest, which was a cause for concern as well.